Can I have Trudy here?
Yes.
Would you mind speaking up so I can hear you?
Sorry, yes.
That's OK. And this is your son, Michael, correct? Yes?
Yeah.
Now, it's very important that you speak clearly so I can hear exactly what you're saying. Trudy, who's this gentleman with you?
This is my husband.
Is it David?
David, yes.
David, I may call upon you for assistance in due course. But in the meantime, thank you for coming, and if you'd stay there for the moment. This is a case you say and you frame, which is effectively about money. But it's also seemingly about you wanting Michael, how old are you now, Michael?
19.
To finally take financial responsibility, am I right?
Yes, you
I
are.
can tell. That's not what the courts do. The courts may, however, assist you in circumstances where you've got a legally enforceable agreement with Michael, where he hasn't paid you back, to recompense you and to find a legal remedy for you. Understood?
Yes.
Do you understand that, Michael?
Yeah.
Do you have a job?
No.
Now, there are various aspects to your claim. You're claiming money for a bank loan for a car,
Yes.
2 sets of £500 for a personal loan, money for a mobile phone bill, and bits and pieces over the years amounting, because you've got evidence in support of this, £647 worth of money that you say you have lent Michael, which he always understood was a loan, correct?
Correct.
Mum, can you explain to me the condition that Michael has?
He has a health condition called transverse myelitis.
Now, I've been provided with good evidence in respect of that condition. I'm right to say that resulted at one stage in Michael suffering from paralysis, right?
Correct.
How bad did it get, Michael?
Quite bad. I was paralysed for 3 weeks.
How long did that condition last, and to what extent did that prevent you from getting paid work?
The condition is still ongoing. I'm currently taking physiotherapy sessions, quite intense ones, 3 times a week, to try and get better and hopefully eventually go back into the full-time work that I was originally doing.
What was the most substantial amount of money that you lent to Michael first?
The most substantial amount of money was for the loan for his car that we made repayments
And is
to.
that in time, the first amount of money that you lent him, £1,552.06?
Yes, it
Or was it the £500 personal loan?
No, it was the car loan to begin with, and then subsequently the loan.
Let's take it in stages. The bank loan for a car. Now, how old was he at the time?
He was 17, I think.
Did you pass your driving test when you were 17?
No.
Now, you couldn't drive. At some point, somebody takes a bank loan in order for you to obtain a car. Who?
Michael.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
You took that loan. I've been provided with evidence of that loan. Did you purchase the vehicle?
Yes.
Do you still have it?
Yes.
What happened in respect of that loan, Trudy?
The loan, obviously, as we said, was taken out by Michael, and at the time he was working. But unfortunately, within a matter of, I think, 6 weeks, Michael walked out of the job that he was working at.
Stepdad, come and step up. What's your name again, sir?
David.
David, Trudy. How long have you been stepdad for? How long have you been in this family?
About 9 years.
So you've known him since he was 10 years old, a
Yes.
little boy. As he grew up, you hear what Trudy says? Trudy, you tell me. When you say that he walked out of that job, was that the first job he'd walked out of? Was that the first financial responsibility that he'd taken where he hadn't followed through, Trudy?
It was the second job at the time he'd walked out of, but the first time he'd not had financial responsibility before, so obviously it was certainly different.
What happened as a result of him taking out the £1,552.06 for the car? What did you do, Trudy?
We had to make the repayments for him because he didn't have enough money.
Well, you didn't have to. You could have said goodbye. You weren't a co-signatory.
No, we weren't.
You hadn't guaranteed the loan on his behalf.
No.
They could have come and sued him for it. Why did you decide to pay the money on his behalf?
Because he said to us that he would pay us back the money, that he was going to get another job, and in the past, whenever he had borrowed money from us, he had actually always done that. So
well, that's very important, because I don't want anybody to have an unfair impression of you. Is that right, David? He borrowed money from you from time to time and paid you back?
Yes.
What sort of amounts are we talking, Trudy?
Previous to that, it could sometimes be a couple of £100 a month, so it could be quite large amounts.
And he'd always honoured those debts?
Yes, he did.
Not unreasonable for a young man at the time who would have been 16, 17, correct?
Correct.
So you were satisfied at the time that he would pay you this back. Now, I have to understand what you said in respect of this loan that you decided to pay back on his behalf. When Mum, you accept she paid that money for you, correct?
Yeah.
That got you out of significant trouble, potentially.
Yes.
Could have had the bailiffs knocking at the door. Only I suspect they wouldn't have differentiated between your property and Mum's property. That's what bailiffs do. What happened in respect of that job, Michael?
I don't keep jobs very well. I get bored.
Ah!
You know, there's no...
Yeah.
You get bored.
Yes, yeah.
And so what happens?
I don't know. I was just there one day and I didn't like it, so I went home. Yeah.
You're not off, are you? Quite all right? Not running away?
Nope, not in these.
You got bored?
Yeah.
For more Judge Rinder cases, click here. And if you've got a legal issue yourself, get in touch with us by clicking over here.